I'm a monster coming at you. I'm a monster. I'm a monster.
What's up, everybody? It's looking like you made it to my channel. Here you can find interviews, reactions, rambling, and more. If you like the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, go ahead and hit the like button so I know you want more content. With that being said, I don't want to hold it up any longer because I want to get into the music. Let's get it started. What's up, everybody? It's looking like we are here with Savage Smoke Sessions. Today we got Shayla Hamady. I said it wrong, but now I got it right. Hamady, an up and coming artist, which everybody knows. We've reacted to her on the channel before, and we're going to do the interview now. So sit back, relax, and get prepared. What would you like to say to open up? If you have anything you wanted to say, break down who you are, what you just come out with, anything like that, because I know you have a recent track. Or not track, but see. Wait, we're not getting sound. Shayla, we're not getting any sound from you. Let me see. Ain't me. Now, before I hit the button, we were just fine talking. Yeah, it's not on my. Hmm. See how this all works out? Okay, try killing your camera and turning it back on. See if maybe that does something. You might have to reconnect. I have no clue. But this is how it is. Everybody knows. Things just sometimes everything don't work like it should. Let me make sure you're not server muted, nothing like that. Your mic's just cut out. Nope. Okay, in the meantime, why don't you go ahead and disconnect and reconnect? We'll see if that fixes it. It should. Um, this is Shayla. She did come out with a recent album. See, I always mess up because I try to say track or CD. We don't use CD. And we're going to discuss a lot of things with her. For some reason, it wouldn't allow her to use the mic randomly. Go ahead and make the attempt. I don't. Hmm. This is a first for me. Okay. I will try to change a setting on my end and see if there's something else happening. In the meantime, chat is working, people. So if you want to use chat, this will probably be the only time that I get to use the chat. Because usually when I do the interviews.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you can
There
hear
we
me?
go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, so let me see. I'm hoping that when I go to video that it doesn't. Okay, can you still hear me?
Absolutely. We're good to
I
go.
think it's when I hit watch stream, so maybe I'm just not gonna be able to look at you, but
That's fine. Here, I got it. I got you. I got you right now. Start virtual. Yeah. Now, if you just click,
Okay.
you should be able to see me now. So,
Okay, perfect.
okay. Okay. So, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody what you about your album you just released.
Oh yeah, well, my name is Shayla Hamady. I'm 22. I live in Michigan, not far from Detroit, like an hour. And I just released my self-produced EP Everything was done by me on there. I mixed it, mastered it, wrote the lyrics, recorded it, and it is my life story. Everything is a personal story in there. So if you want to check that out, it's streaming everywhere. Perfect.
All right. Um, so what would you take as the most impactful song from the most recent album?
Most impactful song. I would say most impactful would be 28. It's a really, really personal song, and I don't think people look into the lyrics as much on that one. It's one of the lesser popular ones, I think, as far as streams go on that one. And if you read it carefully, you'll know what it's about, but it's just about mental health and the things that us artists go through that people don't see a lot. And it was pretty hard to even write that one just because I knew my parents would hear it and they'd be like, "What's going on?" But I don't think they look into the lyrics that much, so it's fine.
Well, I mean, I completely, yeah, I a million percent understand where you're coming from. Like I said, a lot of people don't realize that musicians aren't just musicians, but they're humans also. So it's like expect. Yeah, some of these artists could put 50 songs out a year. Some of these artists could put out 10 songs that are absolutely great. But all the stress that's coming down on your shoulders, that's where you run into the problem. Now, I went ahead and told you in advance, and I always try to be completely transparent. Told you in advance. I was going to ask you about it. Is it a contact? Just to get the question out the way, is it a contact?
Well, I didn't want to cry at the beginning of this stream yet, but I don't tell a lot of people about it. Like, I usually just tell my personal fans or the people watching my streams. So one day I was walking down the sidewalk and for some reason I decided to walk very close to the edge of the sidewalk in this little town. There's not very many people in there, but there was a semi truck coming down the road and some type of toxic waste chemical in it. And it happened to tip over at the same time that a spider bit me. And immediately, thankfully, I got taken to the hospital. But this happened to my eye, and nobody knows. Nobody knows
Okay.
how it happened. It's just there now.
Well, there, for the person that had made the comment, you got your answer. And if you were trying to get me to get her to say something else, I don't know what to tell you because I don't think it worked out in your ass. So we can go from there. Um,
Nobody believes me.
well, let's go ahead and jump off of that subject now. Um, what artist most out of all artists, what artist most impacted you in creating you? Not, I'm not talking struggles through life or nothing like that. The one that impacted you on a music creation. So,
Surprisingly enough, it was probably, because I was born in '99, so growing up, it's all like 2000s, like dancing to so silly. Avril Lavigne and like Kelly Clarkson and stuff like that. Those were probably my biggest influences growing up.
yeah, they came out way after my time. I'm 38, so I got some years on it. I didn't know you was that young. Actually, that's actually shocking. Um,
Yes, I'm 22.
okay, so now I asked about which one impacted you making music. What artist or what song impacted you going struggle right, to help you get out? Like, what was the artist or song that gave you that turning point in life where it's like, I gotta like, sit back and can't let it beat me now.
Definitely an F, without a doubt.
I can understand that a million percent.
Yeah, like his lyrics and everything just I mean, I started rapping his stuff, and I think that's kind of what pushed my channel too. Like, everybody loves NF, so when a girl was doing a cover of one of his songs, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I need to see this, and I think it's what got my channel popping in that area. But yeah, he just everything he writes, I'm like, I personally feel, no matter like what
Yeah,
album it
he
is.
could definitely put some music and perspectives that people wouldn't look at it like that until they heard his music.
Yeah.
He wrote the song about his mom, and I
Oh
reacted
yeah.
to it. I hadn't really known of NF before that. Brought tears to my eyes hearing what he was saying because you could feel it every single thing he said. So I understand.
Yeah, I can
That's a
barely
great
listen to
artist to
that
be
one.
able to say that.
He
Um,
actually he was born or he was raised in Gladwin, which is not far from here. So it's also another thing where I'm like, okay, if he can make it from this small town near me, like I have to be able to make it too.
Absolutely, absolutely, without a doubt. So, which song would you say would be the most impactful if you had to choose? If you can choose,
I know because it's weird. It's people when people ask you, you forget everything that you know. But
absolutely, absolutely, I do it all the time.
uh, I know old wise. I like there's one that I hate myself. That one in Prideful most recently. I know that one just came out, but Prideful's been really hitting me hard recently. Like I feel like every time I listen to that one I cry. Like it's just so personable.
I could honestly say NF is one of the only artists that gets away with them playing out over and over and over. And usually, artists, you hear a song played so many times, you don't hear it. But
Right, yeah.
TikTok can't play out NF. They played a one song, and it's like, no matter what, they're going to fail because it's just that good a song. So,
Yeah.
now, when it comes to you writing music, oh, is there a point in any songs where it's like, okay, I know this song, this is going to be a big song? Have you came across that with any songs, or is it always you put it out? You ain't putting out music just to put out music. You're putting it out because it's how you feel or whatever your message is at the time. But have you ever had any that as soon as you got finished writing it, or like, okay, I know this is it.
I I feel like I feel that with every song that I put out, and that's why I wasn't putting out as much music because I was like, okay, this song has to be perfect because it's gonna, take me off. Like that's why I wasn't dropping as much. But Love Me While You Can, I really thought that that one was gonna explode. Like I sent it into like radio stations and basically like the music video, I had sent it into the international songwriting competition and just I've been trying to push that one the most, but it's really hard. It's just so hard. I don't know.
Oh,
But that one
absolutely.
specifically, yeah.
I mean, you gotta pretty much everybody nowadays can make music, but it's who's actually good. We'll never
Yeah.
have another Freddie Mercury, but we could have somebody come up close to it.
Oh,
Problem
I have
is,
somebody who is.
well, the thing is, there's too many people that want to put these songs out, but the recordings that they're making. If you was to look at the chart on the screen, where you got normally some artists only have two or three different things for their voice, these people have hundreds because it's every other word they're stopping, recording, and they
Yeah.
can't get on stage and make music. I've talked a lot about that with other artists. So that's the problem we're having now, where we can't necessarily find out great artists because we got too many people just pretty much sabotaging the underground market. We're going to put all this garbage out that nobody wants to hear, and that way it drowns out these few artists that are really good.
Yeah. I can
So
feel that for sure.
it's like it's so visible now. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. There's a couple people that they just it's like every platform show up, and it would be the same two artists. And I actually went in on every platform and blocked the same two artists, so I never react to them, never got to hear them, never
Dang.
got to talk to them, nothing like that, because it was just overbearing with it, and you could tell that they wasn't putting the music together, that they were creating clip by clip by clip to make a song. It didn't. So, which artist would you, if you was this be able to sign under a label or an artist, which artist would you want to sign?
Oof. Interscope Records. For sure.
Inter, Interscope.
Interscope, that's where Billy's signed to, and I feel like she has a lot of freedom when it comes to her music, and like it I just figured that once you get signed, like, you know, you have to work with this person to write your music, or like work with these producers to write your music. But like her and her brother have remained like the sole people of her albums, and I envy that. Like that's what I will need help, obviously, and that's why I want to
Yeah,
get signed, but like I just want to make sure I can still at least have a say in what music I'm doing type
I
deal.
wouldn't. I don't think I'd ever be able to sign with a label. You want my masters? What? No, no, that don't work like that for me. And I mean, I've seen a lot of these artists, for instance, Tom McDonald, they're completely un, they're not on any label, but they're completely some of the top in the world. And I feel that the record labels themselves might be a move for certain artists because then
Right,
they're going
yeah.
to be condensed. You can't say this, you can't talk, and it changes their whole song. Whole. So I can
Yeah.
understand Interscope. Now, Interscope, is that who owns Interscope? Would that be Drake or
Oh, I would not think so. I don't think it's Drake. I hope not. Don't tell me that.
no? I swear it is a hip hop artist that owns Interscope. Scope, I thought, but I very well could be wrong because there's so many different labels.
Um,
Oh, it's right into the conglomerate of the rest of them. Jimmy Levine, Ted Field. There's a whole bunch. So yeah, it's just one of the big ones.
yeah, it's definitely a very big label, and I mean, like you said, like some artists definitely don't need a label and they're doing
Yeah,
fine, but like for me, it's so exhausting. Like I need support. I need to have a manager. I need to have somebody like a booking person because I'm struggling so bad with booking shows, stuff like that. Like I
probably
need
getting
support.
frustrated.
So frustrated.
How many times have you double booked a show accidentally?
Here's the thing is the only place that I can find right now is the Grid. Like I'm so thankful that they let me perform there. Like they believe in me enough to have me perform there, but like I can't find anybody like that same type of vibe. Like we do have a place called The Local here where artists can perform, but like you also have to sell a certain amount of tickets, and I thought I'd be able to sell that much, but all my friends canceled on my show yesterday. So
Oh,
now I'm like, maybe I can't go that route because now what if that happens again and now nobody shows up to my show and that's really embarrassing. So I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, hey, I mean, sometimes you just gotta make slight maneuvers to further your career. I mean, that's one thing I could say. As I got a couple more years on you, and trying to complete a dream, but relying on your friends to be there, sometime isn't always a good idea. Sometimes it's actually going to harm more than because it's like you have this certain friend that you expect. Hey, look, if I need to reach out to you, at least you got to be there. I mean, you might not be able to make it here, but at least answer the phone, and then you reach out to them at the most horrible time in your aspect, and they give you some sort of excuse. So I can understand what you're saying, and sometimes you
Yeah.
just gotta make that slight change where you don't. If you got another show coming up, you feel free to mention and let anybody know that sees this interview.
I don't yet, but I do plan to do like I have a goal set. Like I want to do at least like 20 shows this year specifically. So
Hmm, hold
we'll see
on
how that
one
goes.
second. I don't usually read comments, but the hitmaker, you can go to Shayla Hamady, go to the very first hashtag, and to jump over and check out her music. And he wants to know who does your mix and master. Now I know the hitmaker personally, and he makes a lot of stuff. H&R or A&R. He's an A&R or whatever. So
Oh, well, it's me. I do it.
well, there you go. She does her own.
It's a very long journey. I've been doing this for 9 years, so I've had a lot of time to kind of experiment with the way I want to do things and learn every day. I didn't go to college for music. YouTube is where I've learned. So yeah.
Yeah, I had the generation right before you. I'm not exactly a millennial, but I'm not Gen X because I was right in that gray area. So I got to live through all of it. We didn't have the phones. We did have the phones. We didn't have the internet. We did have the
Oh yeah.
internet. So
It's
um
a blessing and a curse, I guess.
so now for the relaxing part of the folk session. What's your story? What made you start creating? What led you to decide, you know what, this is what I instead of something.
I don't know, I've always felt this feeling, I guess, for more. I just always felt different than everybody else. And ever since I can remember, I've wanted to make music. Like, if I can show you like videos of me as a kid. Like, I'm dancing to can't Kylie Minogue or whatever her name is, something. I used to dance to
I have
her a
no clue.
lot. And karaoke, always karaoke growing up. And then well, my dad, he didn't want me to even be showing my face like you said about your kids.
Keep them off camera.
Yeah, but I did it anyways, and thankfully I did because I wouldn't have started like as soon as I did. 13 is when I decided to do more and more and more. So, um once it started, I was like, okay, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to do this, and no matter what people say to me, I'm going to prove them wrong. And 9 years later, here I am. Struggles, so many.
You
But
should add
we're here.
you should add like that video to one of your music videos on something where you're singing about your upbringing, like whether it be on the music or just your upbringing in general, where you're sitting there and you're singing or rapping, whatever you choose to do, but have it in the background.
That's actually a really good idea.
I think that would be really cool. And then anybody that asks, well, who was that? Well, that was me. It was when I was younger. I mean, little slight hidden things in all the different videos are awesome. I like a lot of videos where you'll get somebody's artist to create a second part or a third part where they originally intended on being a three-part song, not they just overran the first, but where they do this typical story type song. Something that I really like.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
Artists that you would not work with, any of them.
In a general sense, um
Here, let
I'd
me
have
give you, just so you don't feel like you got to worry about taking any heat. I would never ever consider working with Nas X.
Lil Nas X?
I would never work with them.
Really?
I am 1,000,000% against the way that people market certain things. And when you're the marketing yourself and you're pushing it towards children, I have a big issue with it. Because of that reason alone, and that being the only reason, I would never consider making music or interview.
Dang.
I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way,
No,
shape, or form. And I could piss people off all day, but it's
yeah.
just certain morals I have when it comes to the things I do. There's certain lines, and that's where my personal would be. That's why I figured I'll take all the heat for anybody that wants to throw the heat now. And who wouldn't you work with?
Okay. Well, I personally don't like Dax. Smaller artist wise, I don't like Dax. I think that he treats his fans like shit. But also the same reason for bigger artists, I absolutely hate MGK. I think he's also a piece of shit. Um, yeah, that's what I got to say.
Okay, so let me speak on that.
Okay.
MGK should have never, ever, 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 ever thought it was okay to be doing it, period. Ever, period.
Yeah,
A million
literally.
percent against it. When he went to rock music, after he went head to head with Eminem and went to rock music, felt that he shouldn't have. Because let's be honest, the skill shot and the kill shot songs, MGK is probably the only artist to ever stand up to Eminem and hold his ground at that point, the way he did. And then
That's
he
true.
jumped out and went to rock, and it's like, okay, now you just lost that argument. You a million
Right.
percent lost. And then you went and you challenge somebody like Slipknot. Are you serious? You're talking about one of the most largest bands, but the most inspiring fan bases that you could have, and you're talking about them. You just killed your whole career in the rock community because you don't like them.
Really.
Okay, that's one thing, but you're gonna disrespect them. That's another, and that's people that don't even listen to Slipknot and say no, I won't.
Right,
So
yeah.
I understand both.
I just
Um,
like I'm like I draw the line when somebody is I hate people who are full of themselves. And I also hate people who disrespect their fans because I'm sorry, like you wouldn't even be living in your fancy mansion and traveling the world if it wasn't for the people who got you there. Like you didn't do it on your own, it was your fans. I
Here's
hate
the
that shit.
best part about what we're talking about right now. Last night, when I was working on what I was working on, the old lady said, "You're always doing the interviews. What if somebody says, 'Hey, I want to interview you because of something that you made, whether it be on a music or podcast? Say I went viral and a super large company wanted to interview me, and I had an opportunity for a super large or somebody with 100,000 subscribers. 10 to 1 odds, I'm going for the small, and that's where I'm always going to stand because anybody can get interviewed by some mainstream asshole that has an agenda. But who's going to give that little guy a chance? So
Yeah.
that's where I figure I'm going to just completely stand. I mean, obviously, if other artists or uh, people on YouTube, things like that, if they reach out and say, "Hey, would you do an interview?" I'll consider it. But if it comes down big guy or little guy, I'm going with it because that's who deserves it. A lot of the smaller reactors out there. I mean, you make reaction videos.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. When you do a reaction to an artist and you're done with the video and you go to bed and then the next morning you wake up and this artist is a semi big artist and they thank you personally, how does that make you feel? Doesn't that like make your day the rest of the day?
Oh yeah, 100%.
People don't even realize how effective that is for all of us,
Yeah.
for anybody that makes YouTube content. Having somebody come by if you're making a video about them or a reaction and just saying, "Hey, thanks," that elevates that content creator more than you could really understand.
For sure. Yeah, I had a Token's producer comment on my last YouTube video that I did where I reacted to him and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, "Holy shit, thank you." Like, he is so talented, like, that his producer who makes his beats so good, so I was freaking out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I've got it quite a few times from the artist, and it's like, holy shit. The one night it was Mises actually and his wife, and they left a comment. I woke the old lady up like, "Hey, Mises just commented." What?
You woke her
That
up?
definitely did. You're damn right. I woke her up like, "Hey, you got to see this," because that was before I was really being noticed by anybody. That I mean, there was other artists that I had reacted to that had left comments and everything. But when it's one of the top three artists and you're a fan of, and they leave a comment on a reaction you did, that's a
Yeah.
complete different level. Upchurch, Mises, a few other artists left comments, and it was like I went as far as posting on Facebook, like, look, Upchurch said thank you. Chris Webby said thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
Chris Webby's another one. Absolutely awesome guy.
That's definitely it takes 2 seconds too, I don't get why people don't do it. Like, especially if, like, yes, you're a bigger artist, but you're still, like, like, the whole world doesn't know you, but, like, a lot of people know you. Like, you're I know you're able to see those videos. Why aren't you taking the time, which isn't a lot of time, to do it? I
Er,
don't get it.
Not only that, how about these ones? Because you know what? We both make reaction videos, so we could talk about this too. How about these artists that send you the takedown requests after you're only supporting?
Oh,
And I
like they use the
understand some
copyright?
distros do it. No, no, no. The takedown request. You ain't ever got a takedown request saying you have 7 days to remove this video. I've had several of them telling me I had 7 days to remove the video to receive strikes on my YouTube channel. I took screenshots.
Really?
Yes.
I
And
mean,
it's
you
like,
do a lot more than I do, so that's
oh,
probably why.
I think I was putting 120 videos out a week at
Jeez
that point.
Louise.
Now I slowed down drastically within 6 months, but I got several. Or the
Dang.
artists that tell you, yeah, we want you to react to our music, or if you reach out to them, because a lot of the heavy metal artists, I'll reach out to them. Hey, I want to make reaction. You guys all right with this? Am I going to deal with any issues? And if they say no, go ahead for it. I'll go for it. And if they say, yeah, you might have to deal with this or deal with that, then okay, I'm just going to back away. But I've had several artists where it's like, yeah, go ahead. And then if you get a copyright claim or anything, just let us know. We'll take care of it right away. And that never ends. Like, yeah, you reach out to the artist. All right, we'll deal with it. 30 days later, hey, your copyright claim ran out. But it's only on someone. Then you got a lot of them that are just, oh, we're not giving you claims to our music. We're not asking for claims. React to your music, support you.
Like, do you really need that much money? Like, I just don't.
Wait, let's top it off. A lot of the artists that do this, we get 4 and 5 on for 100 and 200. What are they? Are they going to hit you for a whole 10 cents? I mean, it's not like
Literally.
they're now. If it's like okay, there's a few artists that you could react to that are really, really good artists. One of them does fingerstyle guitar. You react to him. Some of the videos that are his personal, like, hey, I wrote this myself, claims, but hey, I covered this. I'll release claims to you. If they're doing something like that, no problem. I'll react to all your original stuff. Let you make claims on. But the ones that are, oh, no, 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 we covered this. This is somebody else's song. We covered it. But we're going to claim your channel if you try to
I
react to
don't.
it. A lot
Absolutely
of,
ridiculous.
yeah, a lot of them are hilarious. Okay, so we're about 70% of the way through the interview. And I should have asked earlier, but we always got to get a tip for up and coming things that you have had to struggle and overcome yourself that was like harboring your music, because we could hear from the songs you made before to the songs now there's a
Yeah.
major improvement. What tip would you give a newer artist?
Um, I would definitely say if you believe in yourself and you love music as much as you claim to love music, then you need to be working on it every single day, whether it be like a couple minutes or an hour, or, 6 hours. Like, you have to be working on it every single day. Like, you can't just put out one piece and expect that to blow up. Um, it's going to be a very, very long and hard journey. You're going to have people look down at you and feel sorry for you that you're dreaming this dream that they think will never happen. But just keep pushing, because if you love music, then you have to keep pushing and doing it. Just don't give up. I know everybody says that, but don't give up, I'm telling you.
And that's your tip on the up for an up and coming art. Now, what do you got coming up? You got anything like you working on anything new right now? Or you like, come on, we got to get the scoop here. What you got coming up?
I'm working on like a lot of songs at a time right now because I keep getting sidetracked. Like, I'll start writing and be like, wait, this isn't me. Like, it's really hard to push what people want me to write. Like I said, I've been struggling with that. Been
Yeah.
struggling with making music that people want me to make versus what I want to make. So, um expect a lot more music from me this year. Like, a lot more than I had been putting out in the past. and I'm hoping to do at least 2 music videos this year.
Tell
And
you
like I
what,
said, 20 shows.
that the song that we reacted to, where you were showing the changes between all the different genres, that hands down was kick ass because nobody does that where you're actually changing over to a completely different genre in the same song. Nobody got the ball. Let's be honest. It takes a woman to
It was
come out and do
hard.
something,
It
but
was
it
hard.
sounded good. It really did.
Thank you.
Kind of think if there's anything that I needed to ask you. That you said your parents support your music, right?
Yeah, they support me.
Have they
It's
always
been a
supported your music though? Or is it one of them, oh, you could try to make this as a hobby, but you can't do this? It's coming for
they
me. When I was coming up, it was, well, you might not be able to do it. You're not like the rest of the family because I got a lot of music being played. But you do it as a hobby or something.
Yeah, I think that my family has always kind of had that in the back of their minds, and I think a lot of people have had that in the back of their minds when it comes to me. And especially with that's why I wrote my song 22 is because the older I get, the more it's like I'm running out of time and like especially being a woman, like the older you get, you kind of people don't want you as much. So it's been a struggle with them, I'm not gonna lie, and especially the money aspect of it. Like I moved out and that was hard on my dad a lot, but I don't know, it's just like I just know that in the back of their minds are like, okay, this isn't gonna work out for her. Like, we're gonna need to support her the entire way, like money wise. And that's like, I just got in a fight with my parents like a few days ago about it because they're like, oh, we're like, you didn't even tell us you were gonna move out. And I'm like, well, I kind of need to make that move to move out. And I don't know. I just don't like the pity feeling and like the feel sorry for you feeling because I
Mercy.
feel it. Yeah. Like I
I
feel it and I'm like
completely understand.
so stupid.
No, I completely understand it 1,000,000%. All you could do is prove them wrong. So, um, we spoke about artists you would not do a song, that you would do a song, artists that had the most impact. But here's one for you probably never been asked. What instrument would you use to have in a song to be able to make a song?
What instrument would I
What
refuse to have
instrument?
in a song?
Like, are you all right if you're in the middle of putting out some bars and somebody comes out of nowhere with a saxophone or something like that? What instrument?
I'm cool with all instruments. Like I want to kind of have that mix of weird shit in my music. Like I'm trying to think. There's oh, my cover of Valerie at the end. I didn't do the saxophone, but I had to specifically find a loop for that part because I can't play the saxophone. But I was like, I want a saxophone. It would just sound cool in that song. So I just put one in there and I was like, this sounds really good. So I don't know. I'm down with all instruments.
Where I stand a lot primarily, but what I want to see is the somebody got to come to me with a beat. And I talked to other artists about it. And some of them said, yeah, we're going to use this portion of what you said or that portion. No, I want somebody to come to me with a beat that has electric guitar in it, that has violin in it, that has bagpipes to open it up with, and then piano.
Bagpipes. I forgot about those.
Yeah, just think about it. Bagpipes to open up with,
Yeah.
where it could even be at like a bagpipe funeral where they're playing the bagpipes for a funeral. So, and then it opens up with the bagpipes, goes over to electric guitar, piano, or violin. When any one of those instruments could be primarily used as the main line to run through it
Yeah.
with whatever bass line. It's too many people either can't find the loops for it or don't want to try to take it like this is going to be just too much, or it can't be done, or things like that. Me
Yeah,
personally, I want to see it happen. I don't
I
care
think
who does it.
I think a lot of people refrain from that just because they're like, okay, well, this isn't gonna be on the radio then if I put this instrument in it. Like for a while, and it's only now starting to come back. Like if you had any type of electric guitar in your song, and like no radio play for you. Like, but now
Yeah,
thankfully that stuff is coming back, so I'm hoping to see that more.
yeah, that was the crazy part because I remember back in the day, Little Wayne coming out with electric guitar in his music. And they played it everywhere. But then, I
Yeah,
mean, some of the artists come out with some really,
yeah.
let's be
But like
honest.
Pink was like rock star type gal, like, and she would play on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
So
So, this is pretty much where we're getting close to the ending of the video, the interview. And the most important thing first, you got anything coming up you want to promote? Anything, YouTube channel, anything of that nature? Let everybody know. And then after that, I got one more question for you. We'll end the stream. You don't have to end like jump out as soon as I end the stream, but we'll end the stream and then we'll go. So
okay.
go ahead and promote whatever you need to.
Uh, well, definitely follow me on my Instagram, Shayla Hamady. I post my daily doings on like my story and stuff, just random stuff, and I keep people updated on there more than anything else. But I'm also trying to make more beats because I stopped doing that for a while. So I'm trying to make more beats for other people. So BeatStars, I'm on there. Um, I'm trying to post
I'm gonna have to
once a
check
week.
those ones out. I'm definitely
I
gonna
only
have to
got
check.
five or four right now, but yeah, BeatStars. My producer name is Nilla Brew Beats.
Yeah. Shit.
So yeah,
Well, hey, I'm
there's
definitely
that.
interested in that one myself. So, I mean, I use primarily BandLab, but and
Oh really?
I'm pretty sure it's very similar. So, but
Hopefully.
yeah. Anything else you had? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. Um, subscribe to my YouTube. I will post remixes and covers on there as well
Here, let me do
that you've
this.
probably never seen.
Let me go ahead and just pull this up. I have it right here. Here is Shayla's channel for anybody that would like it. Also, in the meantime, Fred says hello. What's up, Fred?
Fred. Hi, Fred.
Fred, you're the reason that this interview is happening right now. I'm
Fred's
pretty
my
sure,
savior.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you would agree with me on that too. Without
Yeah,
Fred, this interview would have never happened. So all credit for this interview goes to Fred Martin. He's in my YouTube
100%.
chat.
He helps me
Um,
so much.
he's a great guy too.
For sure.
So, final question of the day, final question of the stream. What is the most important message that you would have for anybody that comes across this interview, whether they know you, whether they don't know you? Everybody says that your first impression of somebody is the most important impression. What impression?
Under
What
pressure.
message? Go ahead.
I would say stay true to yourself. 100%. Do not lose yourself. Do not think that you are better than anyone else while you're growing. You have to connect with your fans and just be who you are because a lot of people actually want to see who you are. Um, and like I said before, never give up. Also, it's been a long journey for me, and if you just started, keep going, please.
Yes, I have to agree with that. That is Savage approved message there. Um, so you guys just seen the interview with Shayla Hamady. You guys can jump over. I posted the link in chat so you can jump over and check out her channel. Absolutely want to say thank you to you, Shayla, but encourage everybody to check out her music. She's really got a lot of skill that we haven't seen since the late 2000s, whenever they
Oh
stopped making
gosh.
real rap. No, because the thing is, you could tell that you're actually making the music. Sometimes you do get to hear those few breaths, and that honestly now, before we would always have to fight. Hey, we don't want to have the breath being picked up on a microphone. Now it's like, hey, yeah, let that be picked up so we know that they're making an actual song and they're not recording 4 words per line.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the breath. But
Thank
like
you.
I said, if you guys want to check her out, you got the link in the hashtag. Go check out her beats, go check out her music, and don't you won't go wrong. With that being said, until next week, we on Savage Smoke Sessions, which is not confirmed, but I'm working on. I'll just say it, Brandon Hart. Working on Brandon Hart. With that being said, I'll see you guys probably later when I do some reactions. Until then, stay savage.